All right, welcome back to the Brown Balls Podcast, episode 55. We are back in the house with Neil and Neil. They're coming out live from Philly, and I can't imagine how Philly is. I'm surprised you haven't gotten jumped yet, honestly, wearing that around Philly.
Bro, I did wear my Dodger jersey game one, and it was pretty crazy. My wife was scared. My brother-in-law right here was hoping I get jumped, but it was crazy, man. Their fans are passionate. I
Yes,
also went
they
to
are.
game two, so due to my wife's promise, I said, okay, I won't wear for game two, so they can breathe peacefully. But hey, we're up 2-0. We'll talk about that. But Philly is having a horrible, horrible weekend because the Eagles lost. And the Phillies are down by 2 against the Dodgers. So we'll get into it, man. We'll get
And the
into it.
Sixers are going to suck anyways. All right,
I will
yes,
get
let's get
into
into
it.
it.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, but first and foremost, let's start off with NBA. We have the decision of all decisions, as LeBron called it. And what was that decision? Is he retiring?
It was the
Hopefully, yeah.
dumbest shit ever. Okay, so look, yesterday around I want to say 2 p.m., 5 Eastern, LeBron came out with an Instagram post saying that, tomorrow, meaning today, at 12 noon, 9 a.m. Pacific, I'll have a decision of all decision. So look, get this right, man. Everyone freaked out saying that shit, LeBron's announcing his retirement. My wife tells me,
Fingers crossed.
my wife tells me he's retiring. My brother-in-law right here is like, I'm buying 4 tickets right now before LeBron announces anything. Courtside seats, I'm like, dude, oh my gosh. Oh, dude, the ticket for that last game against the last game for the Lakers was against Utah Jazz. Currently, those tickets were going for $80. Once LeBron sent that Instagram post out, dude, the ticket within 10 minutes skyrocketed to minimum $450 nosebleed getting into the door.
Dang.
Later on, it was getting up to $1,400, $2,000 just to
Holy.
get into the door for that last game, man. And whoever bought that for resale are idiots.
God, I can't imagine.
And I told my wife he's not retiring. He wouldn't do it like this. And I compared to last year when Snoop Dogg came out with a thing that, I quit smoking. And everyone kind of took it seriously. And some of the other rappers were like, all right, I'm going to quit smoking too. But it was like, he wasn't really quitting smoking. He was like, I don't know. I think he was advertising for a humidifier or something. I don't know what the hell was he doing, LeBron did the same exact thing today. He dropped a sponsorship deal with Hennessy. I guess there's a special bottle, which is Hennessy VSOP. And that's it, man. Nothing crazy. He's not retiring. He's still playing. They asked a couple of the Laker players, and they were laughing about it because they knew it wasn't serious. But hey, man, I think it's such a stupid move that what he did, because obviously the real decision that came back in 2010 really hurt the city of Cleveland and also LeBron fans all over. It kind of hurt them, So he kind of mocked his decision of all decision kind of thing, So I thought it was pretty plain and simple and stupid, actually. I don't know why he did that. Neil, what you think, my man?
Yeah, man. I mean, crazy ad. Obviously, a lot of buzz over the last day. I bought 4 tickets for Lakers at Philly this year because I was like, I don't know what's about to happen. I see these tickets; they're a good price. I was thinking about buying them the other day. Anyway, because maybe Keneal will come back down.
Which I
for that.
It's on my birthday.
It's on his birthday that game.
I'm coming.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy it now because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't really trust it to begin with. And then this happened, right? Hilarious. But I'm sure there's a lot of people, probably not league centric, because I'm sure a lot of them already knew it was basically an ad or something. I'm sure there's nobody sweating out of the Lakers organization or teams around the league about what happens to LeBron James. This is a guy who went 29-9. When people talk about him retiring, I kind of laugh. I'm like, man, there's a lot of role players in this league. A lot of starters don't even play this well as LeBron. Every single team in the league still would want a player of that caliber with this type of stat line to play. Well, what are you gonna do? I just think that kept a lot of people up in their seats. It sucks, man, because most likely this is not a team that's not going to make the make the playoffs this year. I highly doubt it. The Lakers,
come on.
Your partner next to you over there thinks they're going to the finals. We have a
Yeah.
Nobu dinner
But I'm
bet
saying
on
they're
this.
not gonna. It's not like they're not gonna make the playoffs, right?
Right,
They're gonna
right.
make the playoffs. So that Jazz game is a game that now LeBron probably is not even gonna play, most likely, right?
Yeah.
The Jazz are gonna suck.
Yeah.
That you basically play, whatever. You're gonna play Bronny James 40 minutes that day. Maybe we can see the first time he plays up 48 minutes, right? Instead of seeing
Gotta hope.
LeBron James last game, you see Bronny's like close amount of time. Maybe he goes off for 25 points. Yeah, 30 points. Let's see it.
Oh my god.
Give the fans something that day who spent so much money, who are stuck with these tickets.
Yeah, I feel bad for those fans who are spending that much money for a Utah Jazz game. Holy moly!
What's your take, bro? What's your take, man?
Well, it's LeBron, dude. What do you expect? You know how much I don't like the guy. I'm a big Laker fan, by the way, but I've never been a fan of his theatrics. He loves this attention that he loves to get from the media. This is another way for him to get it. Make it interesting. Like, and everyone's saying, "Oh, he might be going." So I'm like, he can't go anywhere. He just signed a 1-year deal, so he's not gonna go anywhere unless the Lakers are trading him, which that's not gonna happen. And the only thing would be for him to retire, which I was hoping secretly that would be the thing, that not even not retire as a farewell tour. I was hoping that he would say, "I'm quitting now." Like, that's what I was hoping for. But get another year of this guy, dude. I don't know what to make of it. It's just all media. That's all he loves. Everyone give him the attention. And I wish the Lakers, the Laker organization would be like, sorry, guys, you guys spent a bunch of money to buy our tickets all of a sudden. People who spent $1,600 for a Utah Jazz game,
that sucks.
They're going to be like, all right,
dude,
for nosebleeds
I was
at Staples.
So my wife was going crazy, right? And she's like, oh, buy the nosebleed seats. And by then, it went from 80 to like 400. And she was like trying to make me buy this $800-900 ticket. And I was like telling her, I'm like, dude, he's not retiring. He's like, what if he is? What if he is? And I'm like, oh man. She was this close to like making me buy this $800-900 tickets, man. Imagine me going to Utah Jazz game, last game of the season, no one's playing, and staying there for $500, man.
Yeah,
that'd be rough.
I mean, at the same time, I don't buy. I know, Neil, you buying the 4 tickets. That's fine because LeBron will only come to the East. Each individual East team wins, so that's justified. But for a Utah Jazz game at home, come on, dude, I would be pissed off.
Hell yeah, man.
I would need to get super drunk.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's LeBron, man. What do you expect? This is your boy, Keneal. You gotta explain me him. Like, why is this?
He likes attention,
good?
Man. He likes attention. That's all I can say. Look,
he's the Aaron Rodgers of.
I'm still a big fan of this guy. He's still putting up numbers, and I still think that him being healthy with Luka being healthy, no one's touching the Lakers.
I'm sure that whatever Hennessy paid LeBron to have this as the grand reveal was a lot of money, right? That's multiple posts. Like, if you're into like how much money these celebrities are paid for these types of posts, there's a lot of posts. It's a long video. Like, that's probably a lot of money that they paid this guy to do all of this. Use one of the biggest highlights of his career and use that as like an ad campaign. As
a joke essentially too.
Yeah. He'll use some money. He'll use some money later on. This is another house for him probably.
He mocked his own. He mocked his own decision, man. That's so stupid, man.
Yeah.
Man.
People on Reddit are calling him Latrell.
Latrell. Hey, that's a good name, Latrell, bro.
Latrell James. All right, you have some other NBA news coming out around Yanis moving to Athens and starting a league.
So today reports came out that Yanis moved his family actually to Athens permanently. And which is surprising, right? Usually, he has like 2 little kids, maybe 2 or 3. I forgot how many, but they're all little. Moved his family like permanently to Athens, which kind of shocks me because usually a player his caliber, he's like a more of a family type of guy. You think that he wants to be around his family, So for him to move his family permanently to Athens, I don't know if permanently is the right word they use, but maybe until he gets traded. Because now they're saying that there's still a chance he can get traded. And look, to be honest with you, the more and more I see him, man, I do see him getting traded by the deadline. I think this will be another Luka trade at the deadline, man. And I do think that depending how, and I know only 2 teams I think are, or maybe 3, I think that will kind of entertain the idea of getting him. The realistic possibility is New York Knicks because they have young pieces. They don't have any draft picks because they gave everything to freaking Brooklyn for Mikal Bridges, but they have young pieces to give Milwaukee they want. The other team who has young pieces plus draft picks is Miami. Miami is always in the conversation of getting a big name. And the third team in the West is going to be the Golden State Warriors because they want to kind of prolong Steph Curry's career. I do feel more and more now looking at it, like this report that came out that his family is no longer in Milwaukee anymore and they're moved. I do feel that, I think Giannis is kind of doing his exit and I think Milwaukee will entertain the idea of trading him and see what they can get out of him, I don't know. What you think?
I mean, I see that. I think there's probably some other teams there, some teams that have a lot of draft picks that are, very interesting, to go get a former MVP, Defensive Player of the Year caliber type player. And, probably the reason why he hasn't even won more of those awards because of the people around him, right? And H. Dame, Chris Middleton, these aren't people who elevate other players, right? At least, they won one championship there. But, the Spurs, OKC, the Jazz have a lot of picks. I mean, especially the Spurs and OKC have a lot of picks in the caliber of players that you can put around Giannis Antetokounmpo and win now. And win the next year, win the year after that, and after that, because they have ridiculous amounts of picks. I think that this Giannis news is definitely interesting. I think the other news that came out was that like his preferred destination was the Knicks. I can't imagine what the Knicks would give up. I mean, unless I think you put something where you have Cat, McCall Bridges, and maybe OG, something like that. I don't even know if Milwaukee really like entertains anything unless they really think that Giannis is going to leave, right? For nothing. But not many players around the league would do that for a team that drafted them and they've won a championship with. And also, I don't think so.
And also the reason why I think Knicks is his preferred destination, and another reason why I do think Knicks is actually a favorite to land him, Milwaukee does not hold their next 3 to 4 year draft picks. So they do need players who are impactful right now, meaning that, they need players that they can make playoffs. And in the weak Eastern Conference, if you put in Miles Turner, who they newly acquired, along with maybe Karl Anthony Towns and either of Mikal or Anunoby, one of those, that's like a 4 or 5 seed right there in the East. East. No, you don't think so? With Miles, with Turner,
I would say playoffs, but not that.
Maybe,
like 4 and 5. I think
7 or 8.
Okay, but yeah,
you had the current Milwaukee Bucks at 4 and 5. They would get worse without Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, with all those players, could make up Giannis's statistics, all right? If you think about it.
This is like how the Nets think the MPJ is going to be like a 30, 10, and 15 players, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they'll make playoffs. They'll be a good team, but they're not going to be.
But they need to make the playoffs because they don't hold their draft picks. So that's the reason why I feel that they would do that trade with the Knicks, just so they can get those players. They're young. They're not old either. Yeah. So what do you think, Tapas?
Yeah, I think the Knicks makes the most sense for him too. I think he prefers it, and he said it too. But I think there was this article that came out with Sharania that said that they're looking at other destination that potentially could work out, that could, like Neil said, could provide the draft assets while giving Giannis a chance to win championship this year. I mean, I know you and I joked about it, but maybe even Dallas would consider it if they want to trade Cooper Flag. Who knows? As far as him moving his family to Athens, I think it's because his wife, and he's a big family guy. I think his wife never liked it here. She just likes Athens. So he just said, fine, just let's just move everybody over there, because she's very dominant in that relationship. If you ever follow them on TikTok, she's the one that calls all the shots. Yeah. Like, she probably just said, I don't want to be here, because he likes the weather in Athens, all that kind of stuff. And lastly, his brother just signed an extension with the Bucks. Not Bucks. Yeah, but the Bucks. So as long as he's playing, Giannis is gonna play. Because it's like Bronny. Like, once Giannis is gone out of the team, they have no spot for him. Same with Bronny and LeBron James. So, like, he's got to play wherever Thanasis is playing, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see. I wonder if the Knicks will hold off, or the Bucks will hold off until the middle of the season, or by the trade deadline, or do you think they want to trade him before that?
I personally think that if you get the best value, do it soon than later, because
right.
only has 1 year left after this, and if you wait till summer, That means you're getting Giannis on an expiring deal, and hopefully he resigns with the team that gets traded too. Instead of trading him at this deadline, if you're the Knicks, you can convince him. Miami, you can convince him like that. Hey, year and a half, or Golden State, right?
Yeah.
And again, his wife not liking. I mean, who the hell wants to live in Milwaukee? Shit, dude. I don't want to live in Milwaukee. His wife should give a chance with New York or even California. And so I personally feel that. I also think that him moving his family to Athens. I don't know how much he is kind of in trouble. And Adam Silver is definitely the guy to point at because with technology and people loving basketball, there's also coming a factor where a new league can be formed. And I know LeBron's agent is like, in the head of that because he's actually meeting with the top agent and Joker's agent is actually one of the top agents in Europe. And so he's been talking to him to create a league that's competitive with NBA. And I don't know, maybe Giannis goes and also becomes a ambassador of it and helps out,
like how Messi was for MLS kind of thing.
Yeah. So
or Ronaldo's in Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah. So something like that. So I do feel there's some correlation to this about, hey, let's get you ready. Let's join force and create another a league that's really competitive to NBA. And because I don't know if you noticed, because NBA just came out a few days ago that they want to have an expansion team within the next 4 years in Europe. Which I think is the dumbest idea because how you gonna do a back-to-back in Europe? I want to know that.
Whichever team that is, it can be awesome because they won't have any back-to-back. So unless they're gonna have like a 20-game road swing here in the US.
Even with Europe, you're gonna need 1 day to get over your jet lag.
Yeah, just travel.
Yeah, and jet lag and everything. How are you gonna? And Adam Silver, I mean, should be worried about injuries. And if you're gonna have players playing international like that, do it with less rest. Come on, doesn't matter what kind of plane you give them. I mean, like with the first class with seat reclining all the way, you're still sleeping on a goddamn plane and traveling to freaking Europe, So I don't understand. So I don't know what Adam Silver is doing, and so, but I don't know what your take, Tapas.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to imagine any league giving NBA a run for its money because NBA is very, very big. It's the third most popular sport, right?
Yeah.
Basketball is NBA wise. First one is obviously soccer worldwide, and then you got NFL, and then you got basketball. So I imagine it'd be very difficult, but if someone wants to do it, they definitely could try. I don't know, man, because a lot of these other kind of like washed up NBA players go play international, right? You got
and they make good money.
The Tigers in China, and they
it's
make
kind of like the MLS.
So
MLS for the retired NBA players.
Yeah. I mean, ISU has a 3v3, which is also fun to watch. That's also a good one to watch too. I don't know, man. Like, I just find it hard that someone would want to try. I mean, Adam Silver is actively ruining the league, but I think it's too big of a league to be ruined by him. If it's the next person after him could potentially make it worse, but I just find it hard that somebody would try to one up the NBA. It's difficult for that.
I agree, man.
What do you think?
What do you think, man?
What happens when players that are from Europe want to go back, maybe not too far past their prime, right? I think the news also when it came out was, and why I think this Athens thing is very interesting, right, is that LeBron and Rich Paul did spend time in Greece with the ownership of that Athens team, which is one of the powerhouses in Europe, right, in the Europa League already, and they can go attract teams in Paris. They can go attract FC Barcelona's team out there, right? The one that Luka played for, and Luka that, or he played for Real Madrid, right? And Luka just said that he wants to end his career back with Real Madrid, right? I think he just said that a couple of days ago, a week ago. When does Joker? When does he go back? Right? He definitely likes it more there, right? Everything about him says like, he wins a championship. He's like, I can't wait to go home, right? And right now, tomorrow, he's home. He doesn't even, he hardly wants to even spend time, doing a parade after he won.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He wants to be back there. So, what happens when these guys are like 33 and they go over there, right? And the big thing, the big rumor is that maybe Saudi Arabia gives some money out there, right? Look if there's some Saudi money there, building a European league that guys maybe over the age of 35 go to, not 38, 39. I'm talking about maybe some younger guy, 34, 35. When does that start attracting some role players? When does that start attracting this huge influx of European players from not leaving, right? Or not leaving right away? This is definitely something that I think that is probably worrisome for the league. But, it seems like the league right now has other fish to fry, right? There's already some, talks about, how rigged it is. A lot of people I talk to always say NBA is super rigged. Luka Doncic, Lakers. Oh, the first pick went where? What is going on right now? This and that. Oh, like KD just magically left OKC and went to Golden State. There's enough time. And this whole Kawhi thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much do people already think the NBA product is not there? How many people that we know would rather watch March Madness than spend some time watching that, right?
I agree.
Because they do not like what's going on right now, right? They don't like the super teams.
And that's the thing, though. Before you go, Chap, is like, what is Adam Silver gonna do about the Clippers? Go continue. What is it?
Yeah, the Clippers thing is probably going to be the biggest thing that determines what happened with the league. Because I think, like we talked about, last year, like the ratings were down, right? Nobody's watching the regular season because it's just chuck and shoot 3-pointers left and right. Like there's no defense being played. Stars are injuring themselves all over the place. Like it's just kind of a hot mess. And then now you have this Clipper thing, which again looks like it's just going to go like, let's just sweep it under the rug. Please, let's get the headline out of the way. And shout out to Pablo Torres because he's the only one like really pushing to keep this story alive because NBA, ESPN, all of them have been trying to just like get past it. They've been trying to use football to as a way to also mask it. But Pablo Torres is showing up. Everyone's like, no, we still got to talk about it because it's not going away anytime soon. You said there's an update on this?
Yeah,
the Clipper situation.
NBA, a few owners in the NBA so this year's All-Star game is at Intuit Dome because they got awarded because of the new stadium that was built a few years back. Adam Silver, gave them a chance to kind of like the capital of NBA in February and be in Inglewood. Well, with this, allegations that's thrown by, what's going on with Kawhi, that few owners, would like Adam Silver to kind of like step up and take that away from Steve Ballmer because they feel that would be one of the gutting the punch to an owner, Because I mean, honestly, you can't go find Steve Ballmer $1 billion. I mean, the max you can probably find him is like $5 million, and that's nothing for him, or 10 or 100 million, and that's still nothing for him. So take something away from him that's gonna bring more money to the city, to the media. I mean, to his team, to the arena, and take that'll be a good sucker punch by Adam Silver that, hey, since you do have the allegation going on, we're gonna take it away from you and give it to some other city, this year, which would be great. But I don't think Adam Silver is gonna do it because there's too much money involved by everyone, and so and you're right, Pablo Torres is keeping this thing alive because I haven't heard it more in ESPN or even NBA TV or anywhere else or Fox Sports Net anywhere. No one's talking about this. This should be a big thing, man. Because when you play with the salary cap, then you're basically messing with the trust of the fundamentals of what goes into making it a NBA team. And when you're lying about it and paying a player under the table, every owner is a billionaire, man. There's no owner out there who can't afford it. Every owner can afford it. They're freaking multi-millionaires or even billionaires, man. So everyone can do this shit, I mean, so I do feel that, Adam Silver, like I said, I know I hate the Clippers, and I don't know how many people are with me. If I'm Adam Silver, man, if this is true, that Steve Ballmer did, manipulate the salary cap, I will give him the same penalty I gave Sterling, and that's sell your team.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if they want a place to move it, come to Philadelphia. The 250th anniversary of the United States is happening next year. It's this can be a little ad right now that you can come to Philly. The MLB All-Star Game's already here next year. It's
The next decision.
Fun, exciting city, right?
Embiid will wheelchair you around.
He's already committed to building a new stadium. With Comcast, you just signed a great deal with NBC. That just happened. It all is lining up. Come and bring them here. Come bring all the All-Stars here. It'll be a lot of fun, right? Maybe Joel Embiid will be healthy. Maybe he's going to be All-Star this year again. As a comeback. Maybe Maxey will get another nod. Let's see. Bring it here.
Oh, my gosh.
I have more faith in Maxey making it than Embiid, honestly.
What's the consequence you would want the Clippers to have?
I think this All-Star thing is big. Obviously, the Clippers hardly have any picks, right? Are you gonna make this team go until like 2035 without picks? Like what's gonna happen, man?
I would.
And they don't own most of their picks to begin with, right? So are you gonna really handicap a team until 2035? At what point does that become like just not doable, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the first thing is if this is a Kawhi thing, go suspend Kawhi for like half the season. He doesn't play half the season.
He wants it. He wants that, though, dude. He
wants it. He was like, great. I don't have to do all this bullshit injury thing anymore.
Bro. He already got paid his money, right? I guess.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What do you think? If you're Adam Silver for a day, what would you do to Clippers?
Dude, I'm telling you. Okay, Steve Ballmer is the richest owner in sports by far, right? Of all the sports combined, he is the richest owner. So you cannot punish that guy. There's no way. He's untouchable. You can't force him to sell a team. It's not gonna happen. You could probably fine him the $5-10 million. Okay, yeah, sprinkle it in a little bit, maybe get rid of a couple of picks. But they're not going to do more than that, dude. You cannot mess with Steve Ballmer.
What would you do? What should be the consequence? What Tapas, Gandhi?
The honest consequence would be to suspend Kawhi, void his contract for the rest of the year, and then take away a few picks, right? And obviously, you find the organization. Is that going to happen? No. Not going to happen, dude. This is not the world we live in anymore. There's money here talks more than integrity, unfortunately, and that's how it is now. Steve Ballmer is gonna find a way around it. He's gonna keep on. Adam, let's just wait. Let's wait. Push it out. Say we're investigating more. Push out 2 more years. Kawhi might even retire by then. Who the hell knows? And by then, no one's gonna give a shit. So it's gonna be passed. They're just waiting. There's no. He can't do anything with that. With Steve Ballmer, dude. He built a stadium by himself with his own money, which is unheard of for many owners to do. Many owners borrow from the city to build a stadium. Yeah. He didn't do that, right? And then same thing, doing all these things for the NBA to be the face of the owners in the NBA too. He does a lot of stuff for the NBA. So, and he's the most well-known, besides Mark Cuban, well-known NBA owner. He's untouchable. He's like Jerry Jones. You cannot mess with Jerry Jones. Too much power.
That sucks, man.
I mean, we want it, right? If it's David Stern, dude, David Stern would have, oh my God, he would have freaking, not only did he would have deported that, he would have called ICE and like, yo, this guy's European, get him out of here. He would have done that. Adam Silver, there's not a lot of backbone, unfortunately, with him. No, there's not a lot of integrity in the game. That's just how it is. It's unfair. So I hate to be the bad news guy, but as you know, I'm a realistic person. I'm logical. That's just how it is.
Man. So make him sell the team. I should start a petition for this shit.
I mean, might as well. The Clippers don't do anything every year. They're champions. They're champions on paper team
all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I think last NBA news you had was Morant.
Yeah, man.
He's the next Kawhi.
So earlier during the practice, he said he wants to play. His goal is to play all 82 games, and then he gets injured again. And he's week to week, and they're saying that he might not be ready for the start of the season. When is enough for an organization to move on from Ja, man? Is it time for Memphis to move on from Ja and just kind of be like, all right, you can go to the shooting range, forever and release your ass, or what? I mean,
I don't know, Neil. What do you think? You're shaking your head there.
With Ja when playing, of course now apparently he's not dunking. That's what happened last year.
Right.
No, we're dunking with Ja, right? But I when I watch Ja, when I see him come through, I'm like, I see him on the court. I'm like, this is a single player that most resembles Allen Iverson to me. In terms of explosiveness, it's crazy. He's such a great player. Obviously, his off-court actions have been one thing, but the inability to stay healthy is another thing, right? And pairing those two things together, I think he's probably taking some strides to like be fractionally better, when he's not throwing up, shooting signs and dropping the grenade, and doing so many things that remind you of all this other stuff, him pulling a gun on like a teenager apparently, or some whatever crazy things are going on over there. I know that's allegedly or not, but that's a story. But if he can be healthy, he is showtime, right? He's so fun to watch. Obviously now you've given his number 2 away this season, right? So let's see. I mean, that team's gonna have some issues to work out, right? Defensively and offensively, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because he was probably my favorite player coming out of his draft because he was so fun to watch, right? Very electric, almost kind of like D Rose status, right? Like just super fast, get to the hoop and dunk it. But off the court issues, and then he tried to do the whole villain arc in the NBA, like, oh, like I'm the bad guy, I'm not gonna dunk, and I'm not gonna give the fans what they want, whatever, right? And I think now it's kind of ruined his image, and now he's just become a meme of like Keneal says, shooting range and all that kind of stuff. So I hope he gets healthy because he is good for the NBA. Like we need a player like him that's explosive. But Memphis, as for his team, I don't know how much they can depend on him. Like the window is closing. I think he'd be better off going to a different team because Memphis needs to already rebuild. They rebuilt for this situation with John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's not working out. So they might as well just start over again versus dragging this on too long, where it doesn't matter what to do because the West is so freaking loaded that they're not making the playoffs anytime soon anymore. So you might as well just move on from him, save yourself a bunch of money. Like I imagine that's what the Pelicans should have done with Zion, but they didn't. They stuck around. They gave him all the chances. Now he looks like a freaking skinny ass Sean Bradley. That's what he looks like now.
Bro,
But
did you see that shit?
You seen him? Yeah, I was like,
That's
what?
great.
He's unrecognizable, man. I mean, good for him for losing the weight, but holy
Skinny
crap!
Zion, dude.
Is it Ozempic
So
now?
Ozempic Zion, dude. That's a good name, dude.
He'll be laying up for sure now. No more muscle in that. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but I hope he gets healthy, and I do think the Memphis Grizzlies should move on from him.
Yeah, that's true.
And rebuild. All right, you guys get into football? Yeah,
Week
football.
5.
Week 5. The game I want to talk about first was the best game of the week. And I called it, and as soon as the game ended, I had to clip it because, like I said, I told you, as usual, I am always right. Rams somehow win the game. Mac Jones goes out there with his little swag on, giving it to the defense. Man, loved it. Let's hear it, man. Let's hear the excuses. What happened?
I continue with that. Let me get this straight. So you had time to put on that video right away when I predicted that Commanders will upset Detroit Lions in the wild card game last year.
No,
you did not want to put that up. All right, I see. I see, man.
The Rams are more. I did put the Commanders clip after the game. Yeah, a day later. Go ahead.
All right, man. Look, bad. This loss still hurts. I don't know what. I'm speechless. There's no excuse. This loss is literally blamed on Sean McVay. Like, I don't know what the hell was he doing. We made the Niners QB, who was a former New England Patriots QB, like Joe Montana.
Baby goat.
Joe Montana.
Joe.
And so Rams didn't play, man. I mean, this is at home. I mean, the commentators were like, "Wait, are we playing in LA or San Francisco?" Because the crowd was pretty loud.
It was a home game.
And like I told my buddy right here, that Niners fans always travel to LA all the time. They take over the stadium, and this was a bad loss, man. There's no excuse, no if buts and why. Look, our defense was not existent, so was not Niners either. Because both of the QBs threw for almost 350 yards each. The thing I blame the most is Kyren Williams, man.
Your boy, I told you he lost you the Eagles game last year. Same reason, fumble.
1 yard line, he fumbles the ball, and that was the game right there. I don't care what people say about overtime. I don't care that, oh yeah, you got to the overtime, you still had a chance to win. No, I don't care about that. If Kyren Williams just holds the ball and just goes down, and then we score there, 1 yard line, we're there, and the game would be over because it was under a minute then. It was about a minute or so or around there. The game would be iced because it'll be hard for them to come and score a touchdown because we'll be up by 4 instead of 3, and or it was tight. I don't know what the hell it was, but it's still. But there's no excuse to this game, man. As a whole team, we didn't play. We played to their level. Look, man, I give Niners all the credit. Like, I have a few buddies of mine who are Niner fans, and I told them, look, man, I give you guys all the credit. You guys won this game more than Rams lost this game. You guys were down like 5 starters, including your QB. And then you were down one of your leader in defense, which is Bosa, who's not there. Dude, Niners played one hell of a game. Shanahan, that's why Shanahan is like, he's a quarterback whisperer. I mean, he chokes in the playoffs. I don't know why, but like this guy can get any quarterback to play, and he proved it, man. And you know what? He outcoached Sean McVay like crazy. Like, I have a question. The last play, 4th and 1. Why are you going to be that obvious you're going to run the ball in the overtime? I understand that you don't want to go for a field goal and tie the game because our kicker sucked. He's been sucking and he hasn't been hitting. So I have a question. Why in 4th and 1? I understand you want to run the ball, but why make it so obvious you want to run the ball where the defense is going to be ready to get you? Obviously, I don't blame that on Kyren Williams. He didn't do that shit. That he got stuff. He didn't get any yardage. Dude, Matthew Stafford was on fire. Throwing those short passes to Puka and all that, man. Why not show some type of play action? Why not have some receivers line up outside and kind of show that you want to throw the ball? Then if you want to run it, then go for it. Give the ball down to Kyrie. That's fine. But why be so obvious that you're going to be doing a straight run through the defense? You're not going to run through Fred Warner. You're not going to run through San Francisco's D-line. They're pretty good, man. I mean, it was, and I noticed that, after the game was over, Sean McVay was standing up and owning it up, saying that was a bad coaching call. But, dude, they had time. The Niners called timeout. Then the Rams called timeout. They had a chance to think about that play so long, over 10 minutes to think about that play. We want to run that formation. I was so pissed off about that play than anything else in the game. But again, look, there's no excuses. Rams, that was the worst loss ever. And honestly, if we do miss a playoff game, it's because of this week 5 game. If we miss our division, it's because of week 5. If we lose in the playoffs, in Philadelphia or in Detroit or in wherever we're playing, what city we're playing in the first round or second round or third round, if we're lucky to be there, if we lose because of that and we didn't have home field, it's because of this loss. Because this loss is going to be greater upon the Rams than any victory they'll get. They literally took like 3 steps back just because of this loss. Even though the record indicates they're 3-2, this was the worst loss. Beginning of the season, the Rams' first 5 games, they played majority at home. They only played one away, and that was in Tennessee, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe Houston. So 3 of the games were at home. They should have won all these games, man. This is I don't know what to say, but horrible loss, horrible loss, man. I have nothing to say.
Yeah,
I can't.
Neil, go for it,
man. This Rams team almost got my fantasy football this week. Cardi has been doing, I don't know why he's been saying he sucks. He's been killing it the last couple of weeks. The defense has been playing well. One time I have to rely on these guys and say, something about, LA, great. Almost screwed the pooch for me, I think, though, that coming in and playing down to your opponent in this league, especially this week and the last couple of weeks, has really made some teams look stupid. Right? I think that's exactly what happened here. You see all the injuries. You see the lack of, Purdy and some other like significant players. Then you make that guy Bourne look like he is the best receiver in the league. Make Christian McCaffrey look like he is the guy. Again, of course he is the guy, but you make him look like he is the best player also. You let these guys just beat you everywhere, right? In the run game, in the receiving game, everywhere. That's not the Rams defense. That's not how, They were built over the last 5 years. Making these dumb mistakes isn't what wins you championships. And playing down to your opponent like this doesn't really work, right?
Yeah.
Sadly, I wish that this LA sadness continued on throughout the weekend, but it didn't.
It almost happened yesterday. I was getting sad yesterday. But yeah, I think Sean McVay, obviously, one of the best coaches in the league, like X's and O's wise, genius. Yep. But you got to give your ball to the best player on the football field, which was Matthew Stafford. The dude was throwing 389 yards that game, 3 touchdowns. He had a fumble earlier, but he was on fire. So, why are you not giving him the ball and saying, go win us this game? 4th and 1, we believe you. I can guarantee you, Matthew Stafford, top 5 quarterback in the league, he can get you 1 yard by himself, right? Matt Stafford can do that. So I just don't know why he did that, because, again, even with that fumble with Kyron Williams, Shanahan played it way too safe. I think he'd be more aggressive, and they punted it from their end zone, which allowed the Rams to come back and score a field goal to go into overtime. So that kind of negated it. It's fine. But the 4th and 1, you have to give it to Matthew Stafford, and you tell him, get us his win. You have to get us his win. I don't know why he did that. That was a really bad call on his part. But again, this is probably the time to make mistakes, because I don't think the Niners are going to be able to be this good for the long haul. I think the Rams will be able to pack up a few wins and make it close towards the end. I don't think this was a terrible loss by any means for them. But it was an embarrassing one, because you lose to Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, traditionally not a very good quarterback. So that's the only reason why I gave Kenil a hard time, because you can't lose to Mac Jones. If it's Brock Purdy, fine. Even game, but this was a bad loss, because I think of all the people, Sean McVay, who traditionally does make good calls, he made a bad one at that time. 4th and 1, you just gotta throw the ball, no doubt about it.
Show something, right? Show some type of play, play action, pretend that you're gonna do something, man. Dude, they were doing good in passing game. You have Devontae Adams and Puka and Kyrie. Kyrie Williams was taking short passes too. It was 1 yard. Even he can rush by himself if he wanted to, man. I don't get. This was a really bad loss, man. I mean, there's, like Neil said, this weekend was upsets for a lot of teams, right? That you didn't think about, right? We're gonna go over. One of them is New England beating, Buffalo too, and then and Jaguars losing to KC. Those were big upsets, but this was a bigger one because all of their players were playing and Niners players were not playing, and we lost to their B squad, man. And right now, currently as stands, Niners are winning the division with no Brock Purdy, with no Brandon Ayuk, with no Juan Jennings, with no Ricky Parcell, no Joey Bosa, and they win the division right now over Seattle and the Rams. This is
best case scenario for them. Yeah, that is crazy.
The best. That's amazing. Imagine when they're coming when Brock Purdy comes back next week or even a week after, dude. They're fine. Yeah. So it's scary.
All right, let's get into another game that I also predicted correctly.
Shut up, man.
Broncos-Eagles. What happened? Broncos win. Bo Nix comes in the house and kills the Eagles. Oh, that was a rough game. I mean, I enjoyed watching the game.
Entering the 4th quarter, 17-3, bro. Just letting you know that.
So it was 7-3. I missed most of the game because I was taking my daughter to her taekwondo. So we came back home and I saw 17. Oh, this is a blowout. Whatever. I'm not gonna watch it, right? And then I checked the score halfway through and it's oh, okay, 17-10. Okay, that's interesting. I turned it on. That's when they started making a comeback. Tell me about the Eagles team. I mean, they're only 4-1. This is not catastrophic, but you guys tell me. Eagles, is this a big loss? Okay loss? I mean, they don't seem like they have an identity. They either 1 week they're running the ball too much, and AJ Brown's getting pissed off, and then this week they're throwing the ball, and you and I talk about this all the time. The more Jalen Hurts throws, the less likely they'll win. And this is another reason why. And they lost, that one because he threw for 38 times. Saquon Barkley, who potentially was the MVP last year, only had 6 carries. That's insane to me. You guys tell me what's going on. Is it just hangover? What's happening there?
Honestly, I'll tell you right now, man. Their offensive coordinator stinks.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, the guy from last year, what's his name? Clemens.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Sorry, Kellen Moore. He went to New Orleans, I think.
Mhm.
Is he the reason that they won the Super Bowl? Like, I'm thinking now, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Is he the
he's a
reason?
play caller.
I mean, he's the one who came up with the scheme last year that we're gonna pound the ball with Saquon, but it's not just pounding the ball because the way they pounded it, they did it smart. They were able to give Saquon road to run. Here they're giving the ball to Saquon. They're running the ball. They're still giving Saquon like 20 carries or so, whatever, right? But there's no impact in his carries, right? It's always 1 yard or 4 yards. That's it. There's no big runs. There's nothing opening for him, right? And at the same time, they don't know if they want to throw the ball. And when they do want to throw the ball, they don't know who the fuck they want to throw the ball to. They don't know if they want to throw the ball to Devontae Smith, or they want to throw it to AJ Brown, or they want to throw it to the tight end Gobert or Goddard. Yeah, So the offensive coordinator stinks, man, and I do feel that this is a big wake up call for them. Is now they got their first loss. Brown's been bitching. He still didn't have any impact this past game. Devontae Smith is the only one who had a big game. That's it. And so I want to see what transpires now because they played Thursday night, a short week in New York against the Giants. Even though Giants lost against New Orleans, but Giants are surging currently up. You'll love hearing that because he's a big Giants guy right here. And they're playing at home. So I want to see how they respond. It's a short week. Let's see what happens this Thursday. And I'm really, really interested to see what kind of offensive game scheme they come with, man. I think their offense is broken, to be honest with you. Their defense is fine. Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I don't think he knows what he's doing, to be honest with you. And offensive coordinator,
He's
I
not
don't
his
know what
role.
he's doing. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh. First things first. What propels the Eagles the most is being the underdog, right? They think of themselves at the Eagles team and the fan base, city of Philadelphia, likes being the underdogs. They like being the villains. They like being counted out, even when right now they're still probably the best team in the league. Right there, they like having this, right? They like a little bit of drama. This is what they thrive on, right? This is exactly what they thrive on. Now, does it suck that AJ Brown, after having that the week before where he complained a little bit of not being targeted, that he had all these targets come his way, didn't really accomplish much with it, where his counterpart, Devon Smith, played amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help. Doesn't help that Dallas Goedert did not play that well either. Only caught 3 receptions off 8 targets, something like that. That sucks, right? They can overcome that. They can play scheme a little bit differently. I'm really excited to see what they do against the Giants. Obviously, I don't know what the Giants look like right now. Honestly, they lost against the Saints.
They had a good win, then they had a bad loss.
Yeah, horrible loss. But the Eagles will overcome this. They'll still probably be maybe they're gonna lose one more time against like the Commanders at some point this season. They'll have one other dumb, stupid loss somewhere in December or January that like makes them feel like they're underdogs again. To kind of just make this team feel like they have something to prove because they like playing with a chip on their shoulder. That's how they thrive. So it's going to continue on, and at the end of the year, they're going to be like, oh, everyone doubted us. Everyone hated us. They're going to point to ESPN and everybody else, kind of having these crazy takes and use that to propel themselves.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really frustrating as an NFC East fan seeing that because I'm like, who doubted you guys? What's wrong with this?
Exactly.
It pisses me off.
You explain one of our other buddies so well. He's the biggest Eagles fan. You know who I'm talking about. He will always be like, why is Jalen Hurts not the top 5 QB? Why do people think Philly, like he sent me memes like, look, Mac Jones had a tush push. No one gave him shit about it, like all the time. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. No one thinks you guys are bad. You're champions. You were a dominant champion. So we hold you to a higher standard now because that's how dominant you are. You beat the freaking Chiefs You blew them out. So yeah, the Eagle fan base unfortunately is very frustrating to like listen to at times because it's like, dude, what do you guys just make up your own narratives in your own head and then get upset that people don't listen to you. So like, but I think this one definitely is going to be on the offensive coordinator. From what I heard from one of the insiders was that they too much took Kellen Moore's playbook and just said, okay, we're just going to do the same thing again, but with the same coordinator. Okay, that's fine. But then they don't address any of the O-line issues because they lost a couple of the best players in O-line. So now again, like Canio said, you can't get through the hole because the O-line's not developing the hole anymore for Saquon to get through. And then the second thing was they're making AJ Brown run like high school routes, like not just a basic slant, okay, or just go outrun your opponent. Not even like any kind of complex stuff that they did last year to get him open. So it's just a bunch of like things that the offense is missing. I think because of that, it's affecting the defense because now the offense is constantly just either not producing or going 3 and out. The defense going back out there and they're like, God, we're tired, So they will work it out, but their schedule is pretty tough. So I mean, they have the Giants next week, which I think will probably be the time where I think Giants will probably get the most trouble. After that, they got Vikings, Giants again, then Packers and Lions, which would be a tough game for them back to back. Then Cowboys, Bears, Chargers are another tough game. Raiders, Commanders, and then Bills towards the end of the season. So that can be a tough road ahead. I think they'll beat the Cowboys because Cowboys, we don't know what they are. But yeah, this is definitely an interesting way to lose because this was a bad loss for them. They were negative 19 yards in rushing in the second half, which is when you're up 17-3 in the fourth, you would think you just run the ball, right? But they pulled an Atlanta, Falcons against the New York, the New England Patriots. They just started throwing the ball when they should be just running the ball. And you have the best freaking rusher in the entire league. Why are you throwing the ball in the fourth quarter when you're up by 2 touchdowns? That makes no sense to me. I mean, Sirianni's got to get a hold of this team too because he's at the end of it accountable for all of this. He should be like, "Yo, we gotta stop calling passing plays. We gotta just start running the ball because we're up by 2 touchdowns. What the hell are we doing?" And just cut it there. But he just allows them to do it. So whatever.
And the short week they're playing against the Giants. What I learned from the Rams upset, man, is when you have a team that is not heavily fair to win, they show up on Thursday Night Football, man. They actually make it very competitive because everyone's watching you, and like this could be a trap for Eagles, and they don't realize this that Giants might play better and might win this game. And I'll tell you right now, if Eagles end up losing Thursday, and then Cowboys beat Panthers and Commanders beat Chicago, which are a very easy team to beat, it'll be a 3-way tie in the NFC East.
That's crazy. The fact that Cowboys could even be a tie, that's crazy to me.
So they'll be in a tie, three-way tie, NFC East. So
which are not good.
Exactly, it'll be a 3-way tie. Man. So yeah.
All right. So another upset we had was the Bills and the Patriots. This was, I was surprised. Drake May looked amazing.
Stephon Diggs,
Josh Allen,
150 yards. That was insane, man.
He was a man possessed
in Buffalo. Wow.
Yeah, that was a tough. And granted, give credit to the Patriots defense. They had a lot of turnovers. Like Josh Allen looked like he was fumbling the ball every 5 seconds. It was crazy.
And it was a Sunday nighter, right? This is what I mean. When it's a primetime game, it's always for the team that's underdog, man. They show up. I don't know why. Like this is another primetime. The 3 teams that we're gonna talk about, they're all primetime games. The Rams upset was a Thursday night. The Bills upset Sunday night. The following game, KC, Duval. That's Monday nighter, prime time, man. Just telling you, this underachievers, they get ready to play prime time, man. They want to show out and win this game.
Yeah.
It's going to be, that's what I'm saying, Eagles going to be trapped. But going back to that Bills game, man, I give all the credit. I don't agree with, our friend that, he's seen enough and he's the next Tom Brady. I don't go that far now.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is the same guy who thought Saquon after 1 year was the best running back of all time. So we're just not going to take his advice for it.
Drake May played well. He has potential to become a Josh Allen or whoever he could be, a good QB in this league. But this is a great victory by them, man. I think a little more incentive for for Patriots to win because of the receiver going back home and trying to beat his old team, and which is a great victory, man. They beat Bills, man. No one saw this coming. I thought Bills' next loss was going to be against the Eagles, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't think
it was eight and a half. It was 8.5 point spread. It was crazy. No one expected
I didn't see this coming at all. Think about how many people lost money
Neil,
in this game. Go ahead.
I think it's 70%. Yeah. Good.
I think Diggs' redemption game, over last year, you thought, he's out, he's done, that was it. Now he's propelling this team to new heights. Definitely a loud voice in that locker room, which is great. Definitely something a young team needs. Last year they had, a head coach that wasn't really all there. Drake May wasn't playing always healthy either. Now having some sort of, a really good head coach in Vrabel, having, energetic locker room guy in Diggs, who's played, as a long-term vet in the NFL on some pretty good teams. That Vikings team was good too. It helps, right? And I think the next step is for May to start throwing touchdowns. That would be helpful, right?
Yeah.
Because even if he had a great day, he didn't get
0 touchdowns. Yeah.
Which is kind of, let's just gloss over that fact because that's a wild stat. You could win this much. One of your receivers can have 150 yards, 0 touchdowns. That is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And fun, but this
that was a gutsy win by them for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think is more likely? Do you think Stephon Diggs, given his age, do you think this is where it's more of the same to come? Do you expect him to be this kind of dominant receiver, or do you think it'd be he was extra motivated and now he goes back to being the 50 yards a game player that he's been the last couple of years?
Let's see, man. I think that this was definitely something fun to watch. Now, time only can tell. Is this a one-off fluke for the season? At least we know he can do it, right? He can do it, and that's what Drake May needs. That's what any young QB needs. The Commanders right now missing Scary Terry hurts. These Jackson Dart missing Neighbors hurts. This is tough for these young QBs not to have these grade A wide receivers. Definitely hurts them. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, I think if you watch the pregame where they had the interview with Stephon Diggs, he looked like he was ready for this. He was cold sweat, just sweating, like he had just played a game. That's why when I turned the TV on, I saw it. I'm like, is the game over or is it just starting? Because he was he was just so focused, ready. You could tell he was about to go off. But yeah, it was a great win by the New England Patriots. I did not expect it at all. Again, I thought the Buffalo Bills were going to blow them out of the water. It wouldn't be close. But this was definitely a very, very good game. Last game we'll get into for the upset weekend, seemed like, was Kansas City Chiefs losing to Duval. 4-1 Duval. That was a crazy game. Pat Mahomes looked good and bad at times. That pick six was pretty bad. I don't know what he was thinking
for the return. 99-yarder. Wow.
And in the goal line, that was kind of crazy. So the Chiefs are back to below 500 at 2-3, and the Jaguars are 4-1, like Neil said. So what do you guys think? Is this more of Jacksonville, the up and coming team, or is it more there's something wrong going on in Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a Chiefs team that did not play that well at all this season, right? At all. You can see, the age in Kelsey. You can see that there's something there. Where does the trade come from? When do you get Patrick Mahomes more help in, receiving? Where it has to happen, right? You are taking, at this point, there's only so much magic you can do just throwing like this, right? Only so much magic you can do. There has to be a major revamp of that offense and the players around him, right? Now, who's available? Don't even know, right? Receiving wise, There's been so many injuries at this point, that who's really available, you don't know. It's not going to come overnight. It might not even happen before, trade deadline this year. Are the Chiefs this year gone, right? Or are they not the team to be scared about come playoffs? That's the Eagles kill the Chiefs, right? Everything about it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Casey's broken, man. To be honest, they don't look they're playing together anymore. See, Kelsey's done. He doesn't look like that dominant tight end that people fear anymore. There's no fear in people's eyes. Casey's offense, which feared everyone, don't give Pat Mahomes the ball. They're not fearing anymore, man. That thing is gone. They gotta do something to kind of bring back that, get someone else in, with Pat Mahomes, build a new regime, new roster around him, like receivers. Like ever since Tyreek Hill left, they haven't had that bona fide wide receiver. They haven't drafted well with receivers, nor have they had one.
Worthy's not bad. Worthy's not bad. He's kind of there.
Yeah,
Worthy, but he's
Thornton
injured.
is okay.
Thornton's good.
Yeah.
I mean, but like
Hollywood
okay. Brown is okay, but like nothing like Tyreek Hill's, right? And then at the same time, they gotta. I think this might be the last year they have to move on from Kelsey, man, and like kind of go the other way and go draft well with the tight end or do something, man. But I just think Casey's broken, man. Even saying that, they might still win the division because AFC West they're in right now.
Yeah,
Chargers are choking like no other. Like
as usual,
they lost to Giants and they lost to Commanders back to back. They lost their they lost their running back for 4 weeks to IR. They're done.
Yeah.
I have him in fantasy, so does he have him in fantasy? Our fantasy is kind of up for grabs now. So Oakland sucks in that division. Broncos will give them a challenge for that division, right?
This time.
So that's all. That's what I think, man. To be honest.
Yeah, especially with Kansas City. Next game is against the Lions, which I think is the best team in football right now. Yeah, there's definitely something going on in Kansas City. There's a lot of off the field issues happening. I don't know if you saw the whole thing with Taylor Swift's song, Wood, about Kelsey's penis and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff happening. So like, yeah, trust me, you if you listen to it, Neil, you're like, what the hell am I listening to? It's called Wood. Yeah, it's terrible, but it's all about his Mr. Johnson. But yeah, there's just stuff happening in Kansas City that needs to be figured out. I agree with the community. I think they need to kind of slowly start to rebuild, get away from Kelsey. Worthy's a good receiver. I think they have it, but the running game is struggling nonstop. Like Pat Mahomes has led that team in rushing for I think most of the games too this year. So like that's not normal. The way you set up your offense, like most good teams do, is through the run, and they can't seem to be run the ball very well. And so I think they are kind of in trouble. And I think the biggest disrespect was when they put Travis Hunter on Travis Kelce. I mean that was kind of crazy.
Damn.
Right? They put Hunter on Kelsey and he locked him down. So like that's when a rookie is locking you down. That's kind of crazy. That I don't know if you saw the last play of the game, or not the last play, but the last scoring drive for the Jacksonville Jaguars, where Jones kind of just gave up on the play. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, Chris Jones.
That was a big deal.
Yeah,
just kind of like. And then after the game, he's all like, "Oh, we as a defense have to do better by attacking." Like, bro, you were standing around. What are you talking about? Like the defense was going after him. You just kind of gave up on the play.
He fell twice. Trevor Lawrence fell twice. He still could have got
him once, and he would be down. Yeah, and they had no time. They had no timeout, so they would have been game over technically. Yeah, so like I mean, he's been like that though. Chris Jones has been a little whiny this whole season, so I think there is a lot of things happening. They don't talk about it on TV, which is good. They're not like the Eagles where they air out all of their grievances on the air, but there is stuff definitely behind the scenes happening. But nonetheless, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville, that throw that what's his name? Trevor Lawrence had against that receiver, I forgot his name, NTM whatever.
Yeah.
That corner slant. Oh my god, that was I saw the play. I was like, how did he get that ball to that guy? There's no way he would have caught it. That was such a crazy pass. And once he got that, I'm like, I hope they win because that was an insane ball to throw.
And they did.
So he's definitely crazy though. Like he has a lot of Carson Wentz in him where he can be really good but then he can also be very bad at times too. Like you're like, what is this guy thinking?
Exactly.
And you kind of got the both that last game too.
To win the AFC South, right?
Yeah.
AFC South, we have 2 4-1 teams.
Colts and the Jags.
South,
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Which has been one of the worst division of football for the last 10, 15 years.
Exactly.
4-1 team, bro.
2 4-1 teams. Insane.
Let me get your last take on football before we go on to some MLB for sure. Of the big upsets, right? So we have Chiefs against Jags, Bills, Patriots, and Eagles, Broncos, and probably let's throw Rams and Niners in there. But I don't think that's really an upset. Which one was the worst? Because they both were 3-1, dude. It's not that bad of a. It's an upset when a team really sucks. The Niners are not that bad.
Okay, fine.
So of those 3 games, technically, which one would you say was the worst one by far?
Oh, it's the Chiefs.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
Chiefs.
This is this is a team that was supposed to 3-peat. Now they're 2-3. That's crazy, man. They didn't have any crazy drop off on talent.
That's true.
Like nothing crazy happened this offseason for them. Yeah, they have like Xavier Worthy's injured. But is this really it? Like is this how the Chiefs kind of disappear from like
I do
NFL, like, it's crazy.
I do think that this game was played in Duval. It's not
okay. So there's some hot tubs.
Yeah. So I think the
hot tub.
I think the biggest shocker for me, man, was Bills. Man, it's just that Bills need the home field throughout the playoffs. They need that shit, man. And it's okay they lost. They're not gonna go undefeated. I know that. But losing to a team like Patriots when they know they're way better than them. I mean, I get it if you lose against a team in your conference that's a little better, fine. But New England Patriots, I mean, in Buffalo, this wasn't even in freaking Gillette. It was in Buffalo, man, and they lost the game. This game they should have won. I mean, this game can haunt them because, like you said, Jaguars are 4-1, Colts are 4-1. Who knows? They might run the table and not lose again. But I'm just saying, this is the type of game will come back and be like, damn, instead of having that first week bye, you're gonna be playing. It was a bad loss by Buffalo, man. I do feel that's a really, really bad loss.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the Bills loss is pretty bad, but I do think the Chiefs loss is a little bit worse just because it's the Jags. Like, you wouldn't expect it. Patriots play the Bills pretty close all the time. Like, they're arch rivals, and it's always a close game between the two, no matter how bad the Patriots are, or even in the past, how bad the Bills have been when Tom Brady was there. There's always a close matchup between the two. But you wouldn't expect the Jags and the Chiefs to be that close, and expect Trevor Lawrence to come out with the game-winning drive. But here we are. All right, last but not least, let's get into some baseball. Let's start off here. So the Dodgers and Phillies. Dodgers are up 2-0. I was happy with the home court.
What did I say? What did I say last week?
I know. You're right. You're right.
I did say 2-0. Dodgers will go and take 2-0.
Yeah,
I did say that to you, Tapas.
Homer self.
Tapas.
Really thinking
it was 2-0. I told you they'll go and take that 2-0.
You did call it. Yes, you did. You did call it.
And I was there because of this awesome brother-in-law of mine right here, who got me these tickets, There you go.
And if for any of our listeners out there who ends up catching that Teo Oscar home run and you see the whole playthrough, you can see Kaneo Joshi yelling from behind the bullpen, just like, go. You just see him. I was showing to my wife, and she's like, did he know? I was like, I don't think he knew that he was gonna be on TV. He's just happy he probably ran up to the front and want to even jump the thing if he could. But yes, that was a crazy game. Game 2 was way too close for comfort. The Phillies could have even won in the last throw to first base.
They had their best player on. They had the best player at the bat, bro.
They had the best hitter in the National League on, and for some reason, Dave Roberts did not throw out the actual best closer that we have.
So stupid.
He would try to go cute and try to get that guy that had an 11 ERA for the last month. Throw him out there to be closer, who's been sucking, and you throw him out there. So. But let's hear from Neil.
No. I want to hear from him, man. Neil right here. Let's go, okay. Buddy.
All right. So I think one of the things I said, the game plan, right, for the for the Phillies was, let's wait until the starting pitchers come off, right? And then go after their bullpen. I thought that was a game plan. And apparently that was a game plan for the other team. Strom sucked so badly. I don't know why they didn't bring Walker Buehler in. They said, they said right before game 2 that Ranger Suarez might be available in the bullpen coming up, that Nola could be available, Walker Buehler could be available in the bullpen. Why they picked the guy for game 2 that was apparently tipping pitches in game 1. What's going on, right? And let's talk about two of the best players in the Phillies, right? 2 and 16 or 18 between Harper and Schwarber. Come on, man. Come on. That's not okay. Even last year, Schwarber did not play well in the playoffs. Is he a regular season bat? Is that what he is? He was looking for a crazy payday, right? Coming up. Is he gonna be able to get it? I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable even bringing on most of this team that isn't signed long term. Look, it does not look great. The guys that they brought in are guys that like Kepler, Bader, the guys who made that final inning, couple innings exciting, were guys that they've traded for this year. It's pretty nuts. I think this team needs a major overhaul. I think back in the day, I think the Phillies were so scared mid-season, around the end of the season, regular season. How do they pay all these amazing talents they have, right? And now I'm thinking, let them go, man. What has Bohm, Stott, Schwarber, Real Muto even really done in this postseason, right? You're kind of stuck with Trey Turner and Harper unless you trade them. And I don't think that you have to blow up this whole entire team, because that would be absolutely insane for a team that is, doing so well. Maybe there is a curse, the bye week curse a little bit. But look, the Brewers are playing pretty well. So, it's not, you can't win if another team comes in hot. And the Dodgers are a team that magically became hot. This was not the Diamondbacks, of a couple of years ago. This is not that. It's not the Phillies before that, right? I hate Freddie Freeman with a burning passion. Hated him on the Braves. Hate him even more now. That last catch was absolutely incredible, because he had no business catching that ball.
Yeah,
I think that the Topper manager, has to have there has to be some really interesting discussion of ownership in him, right? Did he not play this correctly? I know I love that he bring a bunch of pinch hitters and runners to kind of make this work. I liked how they had Bader make a hit and brought a pitch runner with Weston Wilson right there. It makes sense. It was nice. But way too late, man. Way too late. After Luzardo played so well, and that by the way, that game 2 matchup between Snell and Luzardo, even game 1, Sanchez and Ohtani, man, that was some great starting pitch. That was amazing starting pitch. Phillies bullpen don't have right now what the Dodgers bullpen have. Roki coming in. First off, for only 1 out, that's ridiculous. He should be, he should be playing some really consequential 8th and 9th innings going forward. And, he has it in him. When you're firing off 101, 102, 105, I think I saw. I think the slowest pitch over there was like 99. Insane.
His splitter is insane, though. Like, his splitter is unhittable. And that's why I don't get why freaking Robertson dropped. But yeah, go ahead.
Nuts. Go ahead, Ken. I know you have lots to say. I've heard it all already, by the way.
He has.
I can't imagine, dude.
All right, so what was the blueprint I laid out last week for the Dodgers? Right, I said that their pitchers, their starting pitching will need to go 6, if not at least 7. Bring in another relief. You fuck the bullpen. Don't bring the bullpen in. Bring in another starting pitcher. Which in game 1, Roberts did that. Because Ohtani pitched all the way to 6, I think, and then they brought in Tyler Galson.
Yeah.
And then he pitched, and then I think he brought in a Roki, if I'm not mistaken, to save that game. We won. After Teoscar beautiful home run that he hit, that I was so we were losing that game, and Teoscar came and hit that ball, baby. Before then, it was my
all the money we paid him totally worth it.
hell yeah,
and
that's all that home run, baby. That's all that matters.
He's been bad the whole season, but this one, yes, he deserves some.
Before that, I think it was Kike who hit it, or someone hit it. I forgot who got that 2 runs. So that was a blueprint, right? And so yesterday, I don't know why Sean McVay did this shit Thursday night, and Dave Roberts wanted to give this bullpen another chance, right?
Yeah.
I understand Dodgers were up 4-1. We're going to the 9th. Why do you have Blake Trent pitching? Why? Why do you only need 3 freaking outs? Why do you? And the thing is this: he left him in back-to-back hits. No outs.
No outs.
You just in the
2
stadium.
runs scored.
This stadium was erupting, man. I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And then he gives up a single, and then they score. And then he brings in another dumbass out the bullpen. I forgot his name.
Bessie was not bad. He's okay.
Yeah, but still. And the thing was this: I was like, dude, you could have just brought in Rookie right away, man, and give him 3 outs.
Yeah, I know. Don't get cute with it. It's not that complicated.
I'm telling you, going forward for this playoffs, forget the bullpen. I wouldn't even start I wouldn't even bring in anybody. Give them days off. Honestly, starting pitching going 5 and 6, maybe 7, bringing another starting pitcher, and then Rookie. That's the recipe, and that's the way it's supposed to be done, right? And that's what you want to do. And that's what they did. And to be honest with you, I told Neil that Dodgers have been on the other side where Phillies have been for a long time, where they had this first week bye, and there is a wild card team coming in sizzling hot. I understand that Cubs are down to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee had a buyout just like them, That happens. But most of the time, a wild card team coming in has advantage. They're in a rhythm. I don't care that Philly last week on a Thursday, they threw a exhibition game where they had 30,000 fans show up or 3,000 fans show up and threw a fake kind of game and they played. That's still not a real playoff game. I told him, Dodgers have been stung by this before. And I feel, honestly, I didn't go too bad on them yesterday because I know how it is bringing down 0-2 when you are the favorite. You have the home field and you're the favorite to win the series. And to be honest with you, they are. They should be beating us, and they should be either tied with us or up 2-0.
Yeah,
and I feel bad. And Dodgers have been on the other side all the time, and I still told them to. The series is not over. This is the great thing about a 5-game series. No. I'll be honest with you, and I'm just talking as a more of a common MLB fan base. That the great thing about being down 2-0 in a 5-game series than a 7-game series is that 5-game series, 1 hit, 1 home run, like Yankees did today, can change the series around in a heartbeat. So it takes 1 win. And if they can win this game 3, going to LA, all the pressure's on LA to win that game 4 because they don't want to go to game 5 in Philly. I'll tell you right now, if this goes to game 5, the Dodgers are done. Dodgers need to win, and I'm still telling you, we'll see what happens next week. Dodgers cannot go to game 5. I'm telling you right now. They got to finish this in 3 or 4 and call it a day. Because Philly team, I saw the crowd, and honestly, they still have the best bullpen. And honestly, Bryce, you don't want to wake up Bryce Harper nor Turner and also the home run leader. You do not want to wake them up right now. They're sleeping, let them sleep. Those 3 players have had no impact. Dodgers have taken all 3 players away. Even I'm talking about hits, and doubles, triples, home run, they're taking everything away from them. Let them sleep. Because once one of them wakes up, it's gonna be like a domino effect. So I'm just saying, so far it's been going Dodgers' way. The only good thing that Phillies have is that we have a stupid Dave Roberts on our side that wants to put in our bullpen sometimes. Yeah. And that'll get him back in the series. And I told this guy, if Dave Roberts puts our bullpen in, we're screwed again, Yeah. So
if we lost the game 2 because of that
we would have lost the series. We would have lost the series.
We not only would we have put in the last series, but Dave Roberts would have been just killed in the head. Oh my god! And the LA media would have gone crazy.
Yeah, dude, you're up 4-1.
You got lucky.
You're up 4-1, and like you said, if Freddie Freeman did not catch, first of all, what the fuck Tommy Edman was throwing that ball like? A curveball through a first baseman. What was he doing? a knuckleball to it. I'm like, dude, Freddie Freeman. Luckily, we have an all-pro Freddie Freeman as a first base who knows how to play that position so fucking well that he scooped the ball. If it was any other first baseman, I'll be honest with you, if it was Bryce Harper, if it was like anyone who's out there who's good at first, they would have fucked that play up. I'll be honest with you. And that run would have scored. And going back to Phillies, I felt like they could have still tied this game up even with Roki being in there. Is that they kind of played they're overthinking when they had no outs with 2 people on and stuff like that, or 1 out. They should have never bunted the ball.
Oh yeah, the bunt. Yeah.
Why
that was a good play though. That was a good play.
It was good play, but like the thing was they should have bunted the ball, play the game out. Because I don't know if you noticed, the next guy hit a single. The guy in the first was second. The guy would have scored. They should they went too in depth, man. So I still think the series is not over. Let's see what happens tomorrow in Game 3. It takes 1 win. I told Neil that. It takes 1 win. It's a best of 5, not 7. Short series, anything will turn around, man. So that's my take, man.
Yeah. I mean, the Dodgers do have kind of our best pitcher playing tomorrow.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Against not the best pitcher for the Phillies, which is so that's gonna be tough. And Neil, I want to get your opinion on this. So Schwarber has been struggling. He's 0-21 last 6 games going into the playoffs, and this guy was a star for you guys. So do you know what's the issue here? I mean, he's been striking out a lot. Is it just impatience? He's just not been good.
Look, I think he, in the beginning of the season, it wasn't the hottest batter. He got really hot after the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had a big All-Star game, right? For the NL. It's not working out for him. He wasn't that hot last year either during the playoffs. He has to turn it on, right? All the pressure right now is on Harper and Schwarber, right? Everybody else has shown up in one sense or other. Castellanos has showed up. He's not been the best player.
He had a crazy ass hit in the 9th. That was a crazy stretch of a hit.
Third, and by the way, even before the Edmund crazy throw, Mookie Betts thought he had 3 outs and started running back.
Yeah, right? I was like, what is he doing? Why are you running back?
Pitcher, and he was almost up the dugout until he realized,
they only 2 outs here. Like, why is he running back?
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
So this game should not have been that close. I really think it has to be there. I want to see what happens. Maybe there's a lineup change. Maybe they do something else with what's going on. There's a lot of players that have shown up that did not get called up, right? They put in Stunt. I mean, yeah, it's his birthday. Yeah. Great. But he's one of the slowest players out there. I'm not always happy with Trey Turner, but at least he's fast, right? Castellanos, they could have put a pinch runner for him.
I agree.
Like, what's going on here, right? There's a lot of things here that have to be fixed. A lot of things that have to be tweaked before Game 3. Let's see what happens.
We'll find out tomorrow, man.
Let's see what happens.
Be a hostile crowd.
Luckily, Keneal won't be in my sights. If they win or lose. Sadly, I'm going to have one person from LA still in my home, which is my wife. Who
is honestly is a homer with a jersey
LA
thing?
Homer completely. I don't know if she just doesn't piss me off sometimes. Let's see.
It's fine, man. My wife went to root for Phillies shit all day, every day, man. So what can I do? I don't understand. So
I think both of our wives want to support the brother-in-laws before the husbands.
I don't know why, man. It's insane, dude. It's insane, man.
They're just trying to ease the pain, That's all they're doing.
But you know what, though? He might not tell you, but even after yesterday's victory, I was easy on him a lot. I say, hey, man.
Easy.
I didn't show off. I didn't, put it to his face. I was like, hey, look, man. I feel – because Dodgers been there, man. They've been there. I know the pain that he's going through right now, man. It's not a good pain. It's not good.
We've had some really rough first round exits, and that's been rough in LA. So we know the feeling.
Let's do this, So But yeah,
right.
man.
What was the bet again? I remember you guys had a bet for the Dodgers
Jerseys,
Phillies.
man.
Someone's gonna wear a
Laker
jersey.
and the Philly game, right? So
I can't wait to
right.
wear a nice Kobe jersey. Very easy to wear a Kobe jersey in the city of Philadelphia.
He's wearing my Shohei Ohtani jersey for sure. You know, to the game. So
Give him a Freeman jersey. He hates Freeman the most, right?
Or I'll make him wear my Joshi jersey that I have right now on. So
oh God.
Oh, that's a little masculating.
He's gonna spill his drink all over. Oops.
He probably will. He'll probably mess up my jersey.
Get rid of it. Oh,
it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
A lot of red wine coming out that day, man. A lot of red wine.
Exactly. It's a red wine with extra food coloring. Oh, sorry. Oh man. All right, let's get to before we end the call. Give me your thoughts on the rest of the MLB playoffs. So we got Cubs Brewers. Brewers are leading 2-0. Tigers Mariners are 2-1 now, and then Yankees Blue Jays. I think the Yankees won today, right?
Yeah, Yankees just won.
That's 2.
Yeah, so I feel that Cubs are done. Brewers are going to move on. Hopefully facing the Dodgers. I do feel that Mariners are going to win this game now, series as well. And I do feel that Yankees comes back and beats Toronto. That's my big upset.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what the Yankees did today was amazing. Now, the Blue Jays have played really well throughout the season. They played really well at home. There's a game 5. You know, I know that playing in the Bronx is tough, but you know, I can see them winning game 4. Come on. Their bats are really hot. They still played really well today. You know, the Yankees, you know, had some good hits. They can still do it, right? I wouldn't. It's not panic, and there's not that much panic in Toronto right now. You know, who knows? They just need their Toronto's biggest spokesperson Drake to come in to the Bronx going crazy.
Man, like I said, what happened today, man, don't happen tomorrow for Dodgers. They woke up sleepy giant today, and Aaron Judge woke up today, man. So.
Yeah, he did.
Dodgers better take notes and do not wake up Bryce Harper or Sherbert. Do not wake any of those players up, man. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a big game for us. You know, I do feel like hopefully Dodgers. The best part is to close out tomorrow, hopefully, because do not let the Phillies linger on because they are a dangerous team, and they also do well under pressure. Because I do think whoever wins between Dodgers and Phillies is going to be a champion. That's like what I'm predicting. Because I think if Phillies find a way to come back, I think they will win it all. Same thing with Dodgers. So I think this is the main one, and we'll see what happens from there.
You know,
I do hope we get a Dodgers and Yankees part 2, though. That'd be awesome to see the Dodgers beat the Yankees again. That was a historic World Series last year.
That was amazing World Series. Amazing.
Historic.
Amazing.
Let's see what happens. You know, if you're going to go into, I know we talked earlier, you know, here's some conspiracy theory for you. On a rigged MLB, just like a rigged NBA, you know, there is a lot of talk, especially right now with what's happened in Tampa Bay, you know, them not even playing a real stadium, that baseball has to come back to Canada. That maybe Montreal goes and gets their Expos back. In some sense. Now, how nice would that be if Toronto won, right? The North has won again. The North. You know, we heard in the NBA, obviously, you know, Masai hasn't really done that well after losing Kawhi because they won't give Kawhi ownership rights to the Blue Jays, right?
And a private jet and all that kind of stuff, whatever the hell was.
Whatever he wanted, you know, Kawhi wanted to be the owner of the Blue Jays, you know. But how great would it be for the MLB to see Toronto win? Right?
That'd be crazy.
It's there, man. It's in the cards, right? Let's see it happen. It could happen. The Mariners, man. Seattle needs a team that's hot right now.
Imagine if it's a West Coast World Series, man.
Oh yeah,
Seattle, and LA, man. That's all West Coast. I don't think East Coast will watch this shit at all, man. I'm sorry.
The games will be too late at night, you know. Phil's experiencing this podcast late at night right now.
This is torture. No lie to you. Like we're hitting 1 o'clock right now, and this is just like I can't watch. Yesterday we came home and we're watching Monday Nighter, and I'm like, bro, it's 11 o'clock. The game's
You're saying the East Coast pain. I'm like, you're gonna enjoy some West Coast basketball when it starts at 10:30 p.m. here, and it goes on to 1 a.m. and you're like, You fall asleep before the first half.
Tappers, remember the new rule on Tuesday? They're gonna have games start at 11:30 Eastern
Right,
time.
11:30
You didn't even
Eastern
know
time.
about that. 11:30.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna watch it. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
watch
don't
like
watch
the
that.
preview of it. I'm gonna be asleep.
And
Bro.
highlights on YouTube. That's about it. Yeah.
And tomorrow,
No
Dodger
shot.
game is at 9:00 East Coast.
Why?
6 p.m. Pacific.
Why?
Poor
Poor
Philly
East
fans
Coast, man. Poor
Philly
East
fans
Coast.
are not gonna realize their team is done playing this year. They'll be
To
slipping
fall
through it.
asleep in the third inning, and then they woke up like, oh crap, we lost.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll end it there. Again, cannot wait for tomorrow, and we'll see who wins wears the jersey, because next week we'll find out, right? The winner of this, so we'll find out then.
Yeah.
Until then,
Of course.
Brown Balls, we are out.
See you guys.